Aloha Algebra 1 students, this is Unit 7, and before we get started I just want to show you the calendar of what's going to be happening within the next couple weeks. So today we're starting with Systems of Equation Graphing, and it's the 24th of January. And then on the 26th, when you come back into class, we'll do stations, some practice around the room, and then on the 27th you'll have a quiz. And then the homework for Friday is actually watching a video for Project 5. And this is going to be due before 7:59 a.m. because on Monday when you return to school, the 30th, we're actually going to start Project 5 Part 1. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the notes for SOE graphing, which is Systems of Equations. So this unit is important to anyone who is going to be going beyond algebra. And we're going to start off by doing a linear review today and covering some vocabulary. We're also going to review standard to slope intercept form and then graphing a line. And then we're going to actually solve a system of equations. So SOE means systems of equations. And we're going to do it by graphing. There's actually going to be 3 different ways that we're going to learn. This week we're going to learn it by graphing. Eventually we'll learn it by substitution and elimination. And then the project that goes along with this unit is a systems project, and we call it the system stained glass window. So we're going to start off with a linear review. And as you can see, we have linear equations that are in standard form and then graphs. And so I'm going to help you change it from standard to slope intercept, and then we'll graph the slope intercept form. And again, the reason that we change it from standard into slope intercept form is because we don't know how to graph in standard form. We only know how to graph in slope intercept form. So we change it into slope intercept form, and then we graph from slope intercept form. Okay, let's look at example number 1. We have 3x minus 4y equals 8. And remember, the object is to get y by itself because we're trying to change it to y equals mx plus b. And how do we do that? We first get rid of what's on the same side as y. So let's get rid of negative 3x, and whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. What's left on the left side is negative 4y, and on the right side we have 8 minus 3x. Now remember, we cannot combine these because they are not like terms. This is a constant and this is a coefficient. We cannot combine the two, the constant and the coefficient. Okay, and lastly, we want y by itself, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 4, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Because whatever I do to one, I have to do to all to keep the balance. I'm going to simplify, and I'll get y equals 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. And then negative 3x divided by negative 4 is positive 3x. Now, I had previously taught you a different way to solve it, and we solved it with formulas. And so let me just quickly remind you that our slope formula is negative a over b, and our y-intercept formula is positive c over positive b. Now, remember that this is a, anything in front of the x is a, anything in front of the y is b, and the number constant on the other side of the equation is c. So I'm going to take this formula, m equals negative a over b, and I'm going to plug in my a. So my a is positive 3, so this becomes negative 3 because I want a negative a. b is negative 4, so I'm going to divide it by negative 4. I'm going to simplify and get positive 3 over 4 because negative divided by negative is a positive 3 over 4. Okay, let's look at b, or y-intercept, is positive c over positive b. So this is positive c, number 8, and this is positive b, which is negative 4. And I'm going to plug 8 divided by negative 4 equals negative 2. I'm going to take my slope and my y-intercept. I'm going to plug it into the equation. Y equals mx plus b. This is my m. This is my b. And let's go to the next one. 2x minus y equals 3. Again, if I want the y by itself, I need to get rid of everything else on the same side as the y. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. What's left is negative y equals 3 minus 2x. Again, we cannot combine constant and coefficients. Cannot, because they are not like terms. I'm going to get y by itself by dividing by negative 1, dividing by negative 1, dividing by negative 1. Because whatever I do to one, I have to do to all. And what's left is y equals 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 2 divided by negative 1 is 2 over 1x. And let's look at the formula way. If I have formula, this is my a, my b, and my c. For m, I'm going to have negative a, which is 2, which becomes negative 2. b is negative 1, so negative 2 divided by negative 1 is just positive 2, or 2 over 1, if we want slope to be a fraction. For my y-intercept, it's c over b. 3 divided by negative 1, so 3 divided by negative 1 equals negative 3. I'm going to take my m, my b, rewrite it into an equation. Y equals 2 divided by 1x minus 3, or 2 over 1x minus 3. Okay, and lastly, we have 2x plus 5y equals negative 15. Again, when it is in this format, I want the y to be by itself. So I'm going to minus 2x to both sides, because whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I'm going to get 5y left on this side. On this side, I have negative 15 minus 2x. Again, constant, coefficient cannot combine. Divided by 5, divided by 5, divided by 5. I'm going to get y equals negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. Negative 2 divided by 5 is negative 2 over 5x. Okay, let's go to formula. Formula is negative 2 divided by 5, which becomes negative 2 over 5. And as we can see, same thing. For b, it's negative 15 divided by positive 5, which becomes negative 3. Again, negative 3. So my y-intercept, or my equation, is y equals negative 2 over 5x minus 3. And as you can see, these are exactly the same. The only difference is I have these in a different order. But remember, the order doesn't matter as long as we know that the slope is always next to the x and the y-intercept is by itself, or it's the other number. Okay, let's see if we remember graphing. So I'm going to go here, and we're always going to start at our starting point, which is our negative 2. At negative 2, I'm going to go up 3 over 4. My slope tells me where to go. It's positive, so I go up 3. And 4 is always to the right. So up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 4. Put another point. Okay, and then I'm going to graph it. Go the straight line. Make sure that your line goes all the way through the graph. Okay, this next one, we start at negative 3. Let's put a point at negative 3. My slope tells me to go up 2, because this is positive 2, to the right 1. Up 2 over 1. Here we go. Up 2 over 1. Put a point. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. And let's connect our points. Lastly, we have negative 3 is where we start. And our negative tells us that we're going down. So we're going down 2, right 5. Here we go. Down 2, right 5. So we're going to put a point. And then we're going to connect our dots. Oh, remember that sometimes we may have to go back the other way. If we can't go down anymore, we got to go backwards. So this goes up 2 and to the left 5. There we go. Let's draw our line. And there are our linear equations. Again, we went from standard form to slope-intercept form, and then we graphed because we can only graph from slope-intercept form. Okay, so there's a linear review. If you have any questions or concerns, please make sure that you come in and get some questions answered and get some clarification and do some practice. Have a great day.